The city buzzed with the hum of traffic and the faint scent of rain as I sat on the couch in our rented house on June 2nd, 2023, the evening light fading through the curtains. It was a Monday, and Lena, my girlfriend of 2 years, had left that morning for what she called a business trip, a week-long conference in Berlin. She'd said, her suitcase packed with suits and a laptop, her kiss goodbye lingering on my cheek. I trusted her, her hazel eyes earnest as she promised call every night, her voice warm with that laugh I've fallen for. Mark, my best friend since college, had even helped her with the airport drop-off, his grin easy as he waved from the driveway. I'd wave back, feeling a pang of envy but mostly relief. She'd be back by Sunday, and we'd pick up where we left off. I worked from home that week, my job as a software developer keeping me glued to my laptop, the screen's blue glow a constant companion. The house felt empty without her. Her coffee mug still on the counter, the faint trace of her vanilla perfume in the air, the silence louder than I'd expected. I checked my bank app on Wednesday, June 4th, out of habit, and that's when I saw it, a $150 charge from Island Breeze Resort, time-stamped the day before. My stomach dropped, the room tilting as I stared at the screen. Berlin didn't have an Island Breeze Resort. I'd been there last year, knew its gray streets and conference centers. A cocktail purchase, the note said, and I felt a cold sweat break out. Lena had used my card. I called my bank, my voice shaking as I asked for the transaction details. The rep's calm tone a contrast to the storm in my head. The payment was traced to a small island off the coast of Thailand, a place of turquoise waters and white sands. Nothing like Berlin's concrete sprawl. I hung up, my hands trembling, and pulled up the app again, scrolling through her texts. Long day at the conference. She'd written Tuesday night. Miss you from Wednesday morning. Lies, all of it. Mark, my best friend, was with her. His silence over the past days of betrayal I hadn't seen coming. I pictured them together, cocktails in hand, her laugh echoing on some beach, and rage mixed with hurt, a bitter cocktail of my own. I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I logged into my bank account and blocked the card, a small act of control in a world spinning out of reach. I texted her back, casual, neutral. Miss you too. How's the conference? Her reply came an hour later. Exhausting. Can't wait to be home. I stared at the screen, her words a knife, and decided I wouldn't be there when she returned. The house we'd rented together, our cozy escape with its creaky floors and garden view, felt like a trap now. Her presence a ghost I couldn't bear. I started packing that night, the clock ticking past midnight, the city lights blurring through the window as I planned my next move. By Thursday, June 5th, I'd made up my mind. I called a moving company, arranged a truck for Saturday, and booked a one-way ticket to Krakow, a city I'd always wanted to explore, far enough to leave no trace. I packed essentials, clothes, laptop, a photo of us I couldn't bring myself to throw away, and left the rest, her things untouched, a silent accusation. The house would stay rented, the lease in her name, and I'd vanish, a ghost of my own making. She called that night, her voice tired but sweet. Work's killing me. Can't wait to see you Sunday. I listened, my heart breaking, and said nothing, letting her believe the lie she'd built. The plan was set, revenge, cold and quiet, and a new life where she couldn't find me. The night stretched long after Lena's call on Thursday, June 5th, 2023, her voice echoing in my head, Work's killing me. Can't wait to see you Sunday, as I packed in the dim light of our rented house. The air was thick with the scent of cardboard and dust, the creak of the floorboards under my feet a reminder of the life I was leaving behind. I'd blocked my credit card, her lifeline to those island cocktails with Mark, and booked a moving truck for Saturday morning, my one-way ticket to Krakow burning a hole in my email inbox. The city outside hummed with late-night traffic, the rain tapping against the windows, and I felt a strange calm settle over me. Revenge wasn't loud or violent. It was this, a quiet disappearance. Friday passed in a blur, my laptop screen a shield as I worked remotely, the software-coded distraction from the ache in my chest. I avoided her calls, letting them go to voicemail, her messages piling up. Miss you. Conference is brutal. Each one a lie that fueled my resolve. I packed methodically, clothes in a duffel, laptop in its case, a single photo of us at the beach last summer. Her smile now a dagger. Her things stayed. Her dresses in the closet. Her sketchbooks on the shelf. Her vanilla perfume a ghost in the air, a silent accusation she'd find when she returned. The house, leased under her name, would stand empty, a monument to her betrayal, and I be gone. Saturday, June 7th, dawn gray and cool, the moving truck rumbling into driveway at 8 a.m., its engine a low growl against the quiet street. The movers haul my boxes, sparse, a life reduced to essentials, while I wipe down the counters, leaving no note, no trace. The garden view I'd loved, the creaky stairs we'd laughed on, the couch where we'd watched movies, all faded as I locked the door, the key left under the mat for the landlord. I took a last look, the rain-soaked garden blurring, and climbed into the truck, my heart a mix of relief and regret. Krakow awaited, a fresh start 600 miles away, and I clung to that hope as the city shrank in the rear-view mirror. The drive was long, the highway stretching through green fields and gray towns. The truck summed a steady beat to my thoughts. I arrived in Krakow late afternoon, the city's old brick buildings and cobblestone streets a stark contrast to the modern sprawl I'd left. I checked into a small apartment I'd rented online. Cheap, furnished, the air cool with the scent of wood polish and damp stone. My phone buzzed as I unpacked, Lena's name flashing on the screen. So tired. Her voicemail said her voice weary. Flight's delayed, but I'll be home tomorrow. Love you. I deleted it, my jaw tight, and blocked her number, cutting the last thread. That night, I sat by the window, the Krakow skyline lit with a soft glow, the summer air carrying a hint of river mist. She'd call again. She'd realize the house was empty, the car blocked, and Mark, my so-called friend, would face the same silence. I pictured them on that Thai beach, cocktails in hand, oblivious to the storm they'd unleashed. My revenge was simple. Vanish, let them wonder, let them feel the loss I felt. The apartment was bare, my photo of us tucked away. But it was mine, a new chapter where their betrayal couldn't reach. I closed my eyes, the city's quiet a bomb, and let the plan settle, cold, deliberate, and mine. The days blurred into a quiet rhythm in Krakow by mid-June 2023, the summer sun casting long shadows over the cobblestone streets as I unpacked the last of my boxes on June 14th. The apartment was small, its wooden floors creaking underfoot, the air carrying a faint scent of old plaster, and the river Vistula drifting through the open window. I'd been here a week, the move from our rented house a clean break, but the silence felt heavy, filled with the ghost of Lena's laugh and Mark's easy grin. The city was alive with tourists, their chatter and the clink of cafe cups a backdrop to my new life. But inside, I was still unraveling the betrayal that had brought me here. I blocked Lena's number after her last voicemail, her tired voice promising a Sunday return that never happened. But the messages kept coming. Texts from new numbers, emails clogging my inbox. "Where are you?" she wrote on June 9th, her tone shifting from confused to frantic. "The house is empty. What's going on?" I deleted them, my jaw tight, refusing to reply. Mark's messages started too, his apologies weak. "Dude, it wasn't planned. She needed a break." Each one a stab to the friendship I'd trusted for years. I pictured them on that Thai island, cocktails in hand, her using my card, his laughter blending with hers, and the rage simmered, a quiet fire I channeled into my new routine. I found a cheap cafe near the old town square, its wooden tables worn, the air thick with the aroma of fresh bread and espresso. I'd sit there for hours, my laptop open, coding for freelance clients, the clatter of cups and foreign voices a shield against my thoughts. The city was beautiful, its medieval towers, the green parks, the river's gentle flow, but it felt like a borrowed life, one I was building from scratch. I rented the apartment month to month, paid in cash when I could, leaving no paper trail, my revenge a shadow I carried. Lena's calls had stopped by June 12th, replaced by silence, and I wondered if she'd given up or if she was still searching, her lies catching up to her. At night, I'd walk the empty streets, the summer air warm against my skin, the city lights reflecting off the Vistula, and think about them. Lena, with her hazel eyes and promises, had shattered my trust, and Mark, my brother-in-arms, had stabbed me in the back. I'd loved her, believed in him, and the pain was a weight I couldn't shake. But here in Krakow, I was free. Free from her voice as betrayal, the house we'd shared. I started sketching plans in a notebook, a new app idea to channel my anger, the code a lifeline. The betrayal hurt, but it also lit a spark. I'd rebuild stronger, and they'd never know where I'd landed. One evening, June 15th, I sat by the window, the sky turning pink over the city, my phone dark and silent. An email pinged. Lena again, her subject line, please. I opened it, her words spilling out. I'm so sorry. Mark and I, it was a mistake. I'm back, but you're gone. Tell me where you are. I stared at the screen, my heart twisting, and deleted it without replying. She'd used my card, lied to my face, and now she wanted forgiveness? I closed the laptop, the room quiet save for the distant hum of traffic, and decided, let her wonder. My revenge was working, the silence a weapon, and Krakow was my fortress. I'd move forward, one step at a time. The summer heat settled over Krakow by late June 2023, the air thick with the scent of blooming linden trees. As I sat in my usual cafe on June 25th, the wooden chair creaking under me. It was a Sunday afternoon, the square bustling with tourists, their laughter, and the clink of coffee cups a distant hum as I stare at my laptop, coding a new app feature. I'd been here 3 weeks, my apartment a sparse refuge, the Vistula's gentle flow outside my window a constant reminder of the distance I'd put between myself and Lena and Mark. But that peace shattered when my phone buzzed with a message from an old college friend, Tom. Heard Lena's back. She's looking for you. Mark, too. My stomach tightened. The espresso bitter on my tongue as I read the text again. The cafe's warmth suddenly oppressive. Tom didn't know the full story, just that I'd moved abruptly, but his words confirmed what I'd feared. They were back from that Thai island, their vacation over, and now they were scrambling to find me. I pictured Lena returning to the empty house, her suitcase dropping, her voice calling my name into the silence, and Mark, my once best friend, realizing I'd cut him off. I'd left no trace, no forwarding address, no social media updates. My bank account switched to a new card, and yet somehow the ripples of my revenge were reaching them. I closed my laptop, my hands unsteady, and stepped outside, the sun glaring off the cobblestones. I walked along the river, the water shimmering under the summer sky, my mind racing. Lena's emails had stopped after that last please, but now she was back, likely piecing together my disappearance. Mark's weak apologies had faded too, but I imagined him facing her anger, their shared guilt a mirror to my pain. I'd wanted them to feel the loss, to wonder where I'd gone. It was working, but it also stirred a new anger. They'd used my card, lied to my face, and now they thought they could track me down? I stopped by a bench, the wood warm under my hands, and decided I'd deepen the silence, let them chase a ghost, while I built something new. Back at the apartment, I dug out an old burner phone I'd bought in Krakow, its screen scratched but functional. I texted Tom back, vague but firm. I'm fine. Don't tell them anything. He replied with a thumbs up, and I felt a flicker of gratitude. He was still loyal, unlike Mark. I spent the evening sketching out my next move, not just coding, but planning a life here. New freelance clients, a language class to learn Polish, a routine to anchor me. The betrayal still hurt, a dull ache in my chest, but it was fueling me now, turning pain into purpose. I'd stay invisible, let Lena and Mark flounder, their return a hollow victory. The next day, June 26th, I woke to a new email. Lena again, her address different, her tone desperate. I know I messed up. Mark and I, it was a mistake. Please, just let me explain. I deleted it, my resolve hardening, and blocked the address. The summer heat pressed against the window. The city alive with life I was slowly joining, and I knew this was my power, denying them closure, forcing them to live with their choices. I walked the cafe again, the linden scent strong, and ordered a coffee, the cup warm in my hands. They were back, but I was gone, and Krakow was my shield. The revenge was working, and I'd keep it that way, step by step. The summer heat in Krakow deepened by early July 2023, the air heavy with the scent of sun-warmed stone as I sat at my usual cafe on July 3rd. the ceiling fan stirring the humid air. It was a Monday morning, the old town square alive with tourists snapping photos, their chatter blending with the clink of espresso cups. But my focus was on my laptop, coding a new app feature while sipping bitter coffee. I'd been here nearly a month. My apartment a quiet sanctuary, my life a careful rebuild after Lena and Mark's betrayal. But that morning, a message from Tom, my old college friend, shattered the calm. Lena's telling people you abandoned her. Mark's backing her up. My hands froze on the keyboard, the cafe's noise fading as anger surged, hot and sharp. Abandoned her? She lied about a business trip. Used my car to fund her island getaway with Mark, my so-called best friend. And now they were spinning the story to make me the villain? I pictured them back in the city, Lena's hazel eyes teary as she told our mutual friends her version, Mark nodding along, his betrayal now a shared narrative. I'd moved to Krakow, left no trace, blocked her number, and ignored their pleas. But this was a new low. I stepped outside, the sun glaring off the cobblestones, and took a deep breath. The linden trees sent doing little to calm me. I walked to the Vistula, the river's surface glinting under the summer sky, and sat on a bench, my mind racing. Tom's text included more. She's saying you ghosted her after a fight. Mark claims he was just comforting her. The lies stung, a fresh wound on top of the old betrayal. I'd trusted Lena for 2 years, loved her laugh, her warmth, and Mark, my brother in arms since college, had been my rock through tough times. Now they were rewriting history, painting me as the bad guy to save face. I clenched my fists, the river's gentle flow mocking my rage, and decided I needed to escalate my revenge, not with confrontation, but with something colder, something they feel. Back at my apartment, the air warm despite the open window, I pulled out my burner phone and texted Tom. Thanks for the heads up. Don't correct them, just watch. I needed more intel, and Tom, still loyal, was my eyes where I couldn't be. Then I planned my next step. I'd mailed him something. A single, anonymous letter untraceable, to their old addresses, a reminder of their guilt. I wrote it that night, the pen scratching against paper in the dim light. I know what you did. The card doesn't lie. You can't erase the truth. No signature. No return address. I'd sent it through a courier in Warsaw, a city between us, ensuring it couldn't be traced to Krakow. It was subtle, but it would hit hard, a whisper of my presence in their lives. The next day, July 4th, I sent the letters, the courier's office smelling of ink and dust, my hands steady as I paid in cash. The summer heat pressed down as I walked back, the city's beauty, its towers, its bridges, lost on me as I imagined their faces when they read the words. Lena, maybe trembling, Mark's jaw tightening, both knowing I hadn't forgotten, hadn't forgiven. My revenge wasn't over. It was evolving, a slow burn that kept me moving forward. I returned to the cafe, ordered another coffee, the cup warm in my hands, and felt a grim satisfaction. They could lie to the world, but not to me, and I'd make sure they remembered that. The summer sun hung high over Krakow by mid-July 2023, the air warm and thick with the scent of blooming roses as I sat at my cafe on July 15th, the wooden table sticky under my elbows. It was a Saturday afternoon, the old town square alive with street musicians, their melodies blending with the clatter of coffee cups and the chatter of tourists. I'd been here 6 weeks, my life in Krakow taking root. Freelance coding gigs, a shaky grasp of Polish from evening classes, the Vistula's shimmer a constant companion. But that morning, a text from Tom broke the rhythm. Lena's a mess. Mark's avoiding everyone. They got your letters. My heart skipped, the espresso bitters I swallowed, the cafe some fading into a distant buzz. I'd sent those anonymous letters a week ago, a single line. I know what you did. The card doesn't lie. You can't erase the truth. Mail through Warsaw to keep my trail cold. Now, Tom's words painted picture. Lena, frantic and teary. Mark retreating, both grappling with the guilt I planted. I leaned back, the chair creaking, and felt a cold satisfaction. My revenge was working, their lies unraveling under the weight of my silence. I pictured her pacing the empty house, his face pale as he read the words, and a grim smile tug at my lips. I walked to the river that afternoon, the water reflecting the summer sky, the heat pressing against my skin. Tom's follow-up text came as I sat on a bench. Lena thinks it's a prank. Mark's paranoid at you. They're asking around. I deleted it, my mind racing. They didn't know where I was, but the letters had hit their mark, stirring doubt and fear. I'd wanted them to feel the loss I'd felt, her betrayal with my card, his backstabbing friendship, and now they were, each message from Tom, a confirmation. Yet, a part of me ached, the memory of her laugh, his old jokes, flickering like ghosts I couldn't fully banish. I pushed it down, focusing on the plan. Stay invisible, let them stew. Back in my apartment, the air warm despite the open window. I sat with my notebook, sketching out new app features, the pen a steady rhythm against my anger. I'd started a side project, a privacy app inspired by my escape, and it was gaining traction with small clients. My life was shifting, new routines, new connections, a language teacher named Anna who smiled at my clumsy Polish. And Krakow was becoming home. The betrayal still stung, but it was fuel now, driving me forward. I checked my blocked messages, seeing Lena's latest attempt. Please, I need to talk, and deleted it without a glance. She didn't deserve my voice. That evening, July 16th, I met Anna for a coffee. The cafe's dim light and the scent of fresh pastries a contrast to my thoughts. She asked about my past, and I gave her a half-truth. New start, old ties cut. Her kindness grounded me, a reminder I could rebuild. As I walked home, the city lights reflecting off the Vistula, I felt a shift. My revenge wasn't just about them anymore. It was about me proving I could rise. Lena and Mark's silence after the letters was victory enough. Their guilt a silent echo I didn't need to hear. I'd stay in Krakow, let them fade, and build a life they couldn't touch. The late summer sun dipped low over Krakow by August 25th, 2023, casting a golden glow across the Vistula as I sat on my balcony, the air warm with the fading scent of roses and the distant hum of the city winding down. It had been nearly 2 months since I'd fled to this old city, my escape from Lena and Mark's betrayal a jagged scar that had slowly begun to heal. The apartment, once a bare shell, now held traces of my life. Books stacked on a shelf, a small desk cluttered with coding notes, the faint aroma of coffee lingering from my morning brew. I'd built something here, a quiet existence fueled by freelance work, Polish lessons with Anna, and long walks along the river, each step a defiance of the pain they'd left me with. That afternoon, I'd met Anna at a riverside cafe, the wooden tables weathered, the air thick with the smell of fresh pastries and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. She'd become a friend, her laughter a balm to my guarded heart, her gentle corrections of my Polish a reminder I could grow. We'd talk about my app, a privacy tool born from my need to vanish, which was gaining attention from small tech firms, a project that turned my anger into purpose. She didn't press about my past, but her kindness hinted she sensed the weight I carried. As we parted, the sun painting the sky in hues of orange, I felt a lightness I hadn't known since before that June day when Lena's lies unraveled. But that evening, as I settled on the balcony with a glass of cheap wine, my phone buzzed with a message from Tom, breaking the calm. Lena and Mark showed up at my place. It read, "They're desperate, so they found an old receipt with your Krakow address scribbled on it, asking if I've seen you." My heart thudded, the wine souring in my mouth as I stared at the screen, the city lights twinkling below. They'd tracked me. Somehow, a careless note or forgotten clue had led them here, and now they were close, their guilt driving them to my doorstep. I pictured Lena, her hazel eyes pleading, Mark's nervous shuffle, and the rage flared briefly before settling into a steely resolve. I texted Tom back. "Don't tell them. I'm not here." I stood, pacing the small balcony, the warm air brushing my skin, my mind racing back to that June. Lena's voice, "Can't wait to be home," had been a lie. Her trip with Mark a betrayal funded by my card. Their return a web of excuses. I'd moved to Krakow, sent those letters. "I know what you did," the card doesn't lie, and watched their guilt unfold through Tom's updates. Now, their desperation to find me was a final chapter of my revenge, a confirmation they couldn't escape the truth. I'd stayed invisible, change banks, use cash where I could, and yet they'd piece together a thread. But Krakow was mine now, a fortress they couldn't breach, and I wouldn't let them undo my peace. The next morning, August 26th, I woke to another message from Tom. They left. Lena was crying. Mark looked wrecked, said they'd keep looking. I deleted it, my chest tight but steady, and decided to reinforce my shield. I visited a local post office, the air cool with a scent of paper and ink, and rented a P.O. box under pseudonym, redirecting all future mail. I called my landlord, paid 3 months' rent in advance with cash, ensuring no records tied me to this place. The city was my ally, its winding streets, its anonymity, and I protect it. I returned to the cafe, the familiar hum grounding me, and worked on my app, the Coda lifeline to my new identity. That evening, I walked the Vistula again, the late summer breeze carrying the sound of distant laughter, the water a mirror to the fading light. I thought of Lena and Mark, her tears as regret, and felt a pang, not of longing but of closure. They betrayed me, used me, and now they were paying their search a futile chase through a city that hid me well. I'd loved her once, trusted him like a brother, but that life was gone, replaced by this. Krakow, my app, and his friendship, a future I was carving out. I stopped by a bridge, the stones warm under my hands, and looked out, the city stretching before me. The revenge is complete, not in confrontation, but in my absence, my growth, my reclaimed life. They could look, but they'd never find me, and that was enough.